Yes. Hello, my hurricane family. I got to do a piece of business before we get into the show. By the way, Gio Million is going to be joining us on this show. I just got to make sure I tweet this out because, it doesn't happen if it's not a tweet. I mean, we all know that. If I don't tweet this out, it's not real. So let me tweet this out real quick about this podcast. Sorry to do this while you're on it. It's disrespectful. I'm being disrespectful right now, but I got to do it. We live right now with Gio. Hold on. We're at Gio Million, who's the man. Hold on. I'm doing it right now. I'm sorry. There he is right there. Okay. Tap in. Because that's what all the cool kids say. Tap in. Tap in. I tell you, we getting old, man. What's up, Kane fam? What up, Kane fam? How we doing today? AJ. Kane's on top, baby. Hurt. You know it. You know that's the way we roll. It's all about the you. It's all about the you. We're doing predictions today. Gio's about to jump on. We're going to break down the Louisville game. He's really going to jump into the numbers because you know me. This is Comics on Canes. We have a good time. We just make you laugh. We have fun. We spread some football facts, and we all love the Canes because that's what it's all about, people. That is what it's all about. And by the way, thank you. And let me tell you why I'm saying thank you. It's because we started the audio podcast. And we do have an audio podcast. The links, let me explain. There are two Comics on Canes podcasts. Make sure you subscribe to the right one. One hasn't been updated in a year. The other one is new. And thank you, Miami Hurricane fans, because you guys I checked the numbers. I haven't checked the numbers in like 2 months, right? I checked and I was like, whoa, this thing is exploding. You guys are crushing it. So if you listen to this on the audio side right after, maybe like 3 or 4 hours later, we put up the audio of the YouTube podcast because I do it on YouTube first and then we put the audio out there. But man, I appreciate all you guys listening. I was blown away by the numbers. You guys are coming through. So make sure you subscribe to the audio pod on Spotify or Apple. And man, you guys are incredible. Thank you so much. I want to know, since this is a live podcast and you guys are watching, how are you feeling about this Friday night with Louisville? Because let me tell you what I'm hearing. It's almost like every game, when you listen to people, it's going to be the toughest game for Miami. We heard it with Notre Dame. Oh, this will be the toughest game of the season. Then you heard it with Florida. This is going to be the toughest game of the season. Then we heard it with Florida say, this is going to be the toughest game of the season. I know we're all that, like, this was so funny. I got to complete one thought, because let me go on this one thought. When is it, can we all agree this is going to be an easy game? I know Stanford, we're going to blow them out. And I know. We're all saying one game at a time, 1-0. But when fans are going, just 1-0 every week, we're not playing. We don't need to think like that. I don't know if you don't know, but you're not playing tomorrow at 7:00 Eastern time at Hard Rock Stadium. So when fans go, we 1-0, we need to keep that 1-0 mentality. We the fans, like we playing. I'm talking about myself. I'm not playing. We don't need to look. We can think long term for us. Team, yes, I agree with the team. If you're on the team, if you're suiting up, if your name is Carson Beck, Malachi Tony, or whoever on that team, Ruben Bain, Akeem Messi, Messidor, yes, 1-0 mentality. But when fans start talking 1-0, we need to. This is what I hate. When we start as fans talking about other games, somebody will jump in the comments, just 1-0, baby, 1-0. It's like, we don't need to. I'm a fan. I don't need to be 1-0. I just need to be a fan. Don't be telling me 1-0. And if you jump in my comments with that 1-0 stuff, I'm going to virtually pop you in the face. Try typing 1-0 in my comments, see what happens. So first person to type 1-0 in my comments, see what happens. Because we fans, we don't need to think like that. AJ is hyped. How we feeling? How we feeling? My man Gio Million's going to be on in a second. Going through your comments. Whoa, Youssef. See, this is what I'm talking about. People like Youssef not feeling good. Youssef, what are you not feeling good about this game? When can Miami get to a point where we all can feel good and not be nervous? Or do we have too much pain from the past? We know how it starts and we know how it ends. Is that what it is? I think that's what we're all suffering from. We're flashing back to having a great team and then they fall apart. Is that why we're feeling bad, Youssef? Please explain yourself, Youssef. Please tell me why you're not feeling good. Or are you physically not feeling? If you're ill, maybe you have food poisoning. Like, what are you not feeling good about, Youssef? What's up, Alan Kane? What up, my man? Oh, by the way, I'm going to be at the Denver Comedy Works South this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And what's cool about that, a lot of Kane fans, I've talked to a lot of Kane fans are coming out to the improv. So thank you so much for that. I need to send them the link. Hang on one second. Gio's trying to get the link. Invite guest. Hang on. Let me send this to Gio Million. Let me send this to Gio Million. There it is. There's a link again, Gio Million. But big shout outs to Colorado, Denver, Colorado. I will be there this weekend. All right. What's up, Alan Kane? How you feeling about the game? Just going through. Michelle McPhee. I'm feeling great about it because I'm not believing the past hype. Like we all know, like let's be transparent. We all knew when we were winning those games last year, it was all Cam Ward. We had no defense. It was just like we were lucky every week. This week, I don't feel like that. I have confidence in this team that they are going to come and put the beat down. I'm talking about the beat down on this team. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're going to put the beat down on Louisville. And yes, I believe Braum is a great coach, but if you ain't got the players, you ain't got the players. In the past, Miami would lose to inferior teams. I don't think it's like that anymore. Can't be conservative. You can't play with a foot. Yes, we can't play. But here's the thing. They're not going to be able to play with their food this weekend because they're going against an offense that can score, that can throw the ball. And I'm not saying they're going to score effectively on Miami, but they will take shots downfield on Miami. A lot of teams are scared, and I hear a lot of people talking, he's not going to have time to throw the ball downfield. That may be so, but it only takes 2 seconds to just chunk it up downfield and try to get a pass interference call. I think if they throw deep downfield, I think most of the yards they will get, this is the one statement I'm going to say, most of the yards they're going to get, like big yardage, is from pass interference calls. I can't see them catching a lot of deep balls against Miami. A lot of explosive plays, I can't see. Pass interference plays, I can see. So if I was Braum and I knew my team, my quarterback's not going to have time to throw, hey man, we run in streaks and just throw it up. And receiver, just run really fast and just stop and let them bump into you and let's get a pass interference. I would be coaching that all week against Miami. Just go routes, just overrun the ball, stop and run back to it and get a pass interference call. I would purposely be teaching my team that. That would be my strategy against Miami, especially with Ruben Bain and Messi and Blay and Blunt and all those boys coming after you. I mean, that's actually a great game plan, isn't it? I just made it up, but it actually makes sense. Run 4 streaks, just have them overrun the ball and then run back to the ball and run into the defender. You get pass interference every time. Every single time. I think it's brilliant. Gio Million. He just checked in with me. Are we good now? Let me see if we good. We good? All right. Getting them on. We're going to break down this game. Going through your comments, though. If you have any comments before Gio Million pops on, please do. There we go. That's what I like to 6-0. We coming. 6-0, baby. That's Bori 561. Miami's polished and ready. Not worried. Gio, give me the thumbs up when you're ready. All right, Gio Million entering the show. What's up, Gio? How are you, my man?
What's up, Mike? How's everyone doing? It's we're a little over 24 hours away from yet another game day for the Miami Hurricanes this season.
Now, do you like games on Friday or Saturday better?
Well, I'll tell you this, from the media side of things, Friday much better. I don't lose a huge chunk of my weekend. A
Yeah.
lot of the extra stuff that even comes afterwards happens on Sunday mornings and whatnot. So I don't get freed up until basically Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening. So yes, I prefer it that way. I'm sure not a lot of other Miami fans prefer it, especially if you're going to the games, because not everyone can make it out on a Friday night. But for me, yes.
Okay, I want to start with this. How's the crowd looking? What's the reports of how's the crowd looking for Louisville? I know it's a Friday night. It's hard to get to a game at 7:00, especially with Miami traffic. What's it going to look like, you think?
I think we'll see an 80-20 split. I think 80% Miami fans, 20% Louisville. I do know their fans travel decently well, but again, Friday night game, it's not easy for everyone to make those travel plans. So I think that's the split that
Is it going to be like 3 years ago when they showed the stadium and it was completely empty? Are we going to get one of those shots tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
I'll tell you this. The Hurricanes and the Panthers are the hot ticket in town right now. Miami fans will show up tomorrow for a Friday night
game. Definitely, I mean, honestly, you need to treat the Miami Hurricanes like you treat the Dolphins. The Dolphins are losing. Miami is winning. All those Dolphin fans need to start coming to Miami games and support.
Oh, I think you're going to start seeing that happening.
Good. What are you eating, Gio?
I am having, so my mother-in-law has been in town for about like the last couple of weeks, had the baby's birthday party and everything. I am having some picadillo with the rice.
Oh, I can understand. I understand why you got to eat it while it's hot, Gio.
They literally just wrapped it up and everything. I was like,
you got to eat it.
Want some? And I said, yeah, you know what? I'll have.
You know what? If you can do that on any podcast, it is Comics on Canes. We keep it real here, Gio. You can eat, you can do whatever you want. Let's talk about I got some games I want to go through the ACC in a little bit, but I want to get your take on this Louisville game because I want this to be like a 15-minute podcast, with me and you. So I want it concise. I really want to break down Miami versus Louisville. First, let's start with Louisville against Miami. What's your thoughts on it?
I think obviously Louisville very explosive with their running game because of Isaac Brown, dynamic, complete. Should be a Hurricane.
But he's kind of hurt too, right now?
Yeah, he's been a little banged up. Their entire running back room, they've had guys in and out of the lineup throughout the entire season, basically. Their other guy who was a really good freshman back last year, Duke Watson, he's been in and out with injuries all season. He hasn't been himself. He's not expected to play.
Wow.
Tomorrow night. So that's another big one for them. Now, in terms of the quarterback, though, Miller Moss, I think he's a decent quarterback. Watched him play at USC as well. Is he going to set the world on fire? No, but I think he's a solid college football quarterback. I don't think he's terrible. However, Louisville's got a lot of problems up front with their offensive line. And this is a game where Miami can feast on getting in the backfield. And this could be a big sack game for Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor. I know people asked me about the Florida State game, like, someone posed the question to me. They said, could Bain and Mesidor, what would you put it over or under that they could rack up more 4 sacks or more? I said under. This one?
Yeah, you did.
I think they could have multiple sacks, both each, and other guys.
Let's do this. Let's guess how many sacks Miami will have this game. What number do you put on it? I go at least 5, but I can see 6 sacks.
I'm going to go with 7. I think Miami
7.
Can get 7.
Okay. All right. And how many does Bain have out of those 7?
2.
Okay.
He'll get 2.
And Messi?
And then probably his average of 10 plus pressures.
Yeah. You know what? I actually go ahead.
I can see a sack and a half for Mesidor as well.
Let me tell you, I see Mesidor getting more sacks this game than Bain. I think the competition between those two, because if I'm Mesidor, I love what Ruben Bain is getting. But let's be honest, Mesidor is not far behind Ruben Bain. Like, Ruben Bain is number 1. I get that. Mesidor is number 10, but with a great game, he can jump up to number 2 or 3, like, really quick. If Mesidor got 3 sacks this game, he would already be beating Ruben Bain in sacks. You know, I just feel like Messidor is being, even though we're talking about him, I watch a lot of the nationwide and they're not talking about him, which I feel
Well,
like when they say
give
Ruben
credit.
Dane, Messi should be in the same sentence with him.
I'm going to give credit to two people. Pro Football Focus, they
Yep.
released their recent update for their top 100 prospects. Mesidor's in there. They think
Great. Good.
Mesidor could be a guy that ends up in the third round the way they have him graded out right now. And Todd McShay is actually a pretty big fan of Akeem Mesidor as well. He's one of his top 3 edge rushers in this upcoming draft class. So Akeem Mesidor is earning himself some real money this season. He can continue to.
So we got a comment from Leroy, the Black Ninja Turtle. He says Lightfoot and Thomas get 1 sack.
I can see Lightfoot getting one. Thomas, if on a blindside sack, he's already done it a couple of times already this season, so I could see that happening. I don't know. I get the sense that we're going to see, I don't know if it's this game or one of the next ones coming up. I think we're going to see a game where Mohamed Touré really hits his stride. I don't think he has yet.
Why are we in the press? A lot of people I listen to, they're always saying whatever game we're playing is the hardest game left of the season. They said it with Notre Dame. They said, I hate that narrative. It's like, come on, guys. Come on. Like, you beat Notre Dame. Look, I get it. Are they just still living in the past where we're 9-0 and we lose because it happened last year? Is that what they're living? Because to me, if you're a really good football team that we feel Miami is complete this year, this shouldn't be a game. SMU shouldn't be a hard. Like, let's be honest. These shouldn't be tough games for Miami. But I believe a lot of these pundits of Miami are saying this because they remember the past.
Yeah, I think it's that. And how I would elaborate on that is, I think, yes, people believe Miami's a great team this year, arguably one of the 2 best teams in the country through 7 weeks. But I think they have that little thing in the back of their head, like, is Miami going to have a letdown? Are they going to have a moment where they say, you see, they're not back yet? I think that's what's going on. So you have some people trying to rationalize where they're saying, Friday night game and this and that. Well, I mean, Miami's already handled quite a few scenarios this year. That you had the national game with Notre Dame to open up the season that everyone's saying, oh, no way Miami could win that. And then you have the road game with Florida State just a couple weeks back. And I look back to the USF game. That game continues to get better on Miami's resume as the season goes along.
Believe it or not, I thought that was going to be one of the toughest games, the USF.
And they
just
blew
because of that quarterback in the speed they have, Yeah,
I agree with you.
And they beat the hell out of that North Texas team or whoever. I mean, they beat them up.
Oh, yes. With Mess the Maker and Eric Morris.
Yeah, they beat them up. Ralph asked, Gio, are you going to be taking photos at the game?
Yes, I will be. I'm going to release a mid-season of the best shots I've taken.
Oh, dope.
I've already selected a few. I mean, because I take hundreds of photos, but not every photo is worth just to put out there, like, oh yeah, this one or whatever. Just I'll release like a little collage of the best ones I've taken, put it in a video, and people can use it however they want. They can use it for podcasts, whatever the case.
Love it. I love it. Also, Gio, who do you think? I know we're switching topics here a little. Who do you think is going to flip?
Who's going to flip?
And were you surprised about Dobson?
No, not really. I'll say the reason why. So he ended up visiting for the Florida game some weeks back. They were still ironing out some details between him and Miami. And obviously everyone knew about what's going on with North Carolina. I've mentioned over and over again throughout September, even leading up to his official announcement that he was actually reclassifying. He was already reclassified. It just wasn't this big announcement yet, but it was already done. All schools were operating as if he was a 2026, and he was taking official visits. Underclassmen can't take official visits. So he went through his process. Florida and Texas were also schools involved. Really just boils down to the NIL factor and whatnot. Does it surprise me? Not really. Miami had a chance to keep him if they wanted to, and it is what it is at the end of the day. Regardless, I'll say this. It's no disrespect to the kid. I think he's talented. However, I have my reservations about how I view him as a prospect. I think he's more of a safety at the next level, not a cornerback, in my opinion. Whether people want to agree or not, that's on them.
Yeah.
But and Miami's after several other safeties. They're hosting one this weekend in Jamar Owens from the state of Georgia. They've hosted Justice Fitzpatrick several times. They already hosted Tyreek Green. They've been trying to get Aiden Pouncey back down for a visit. They were trying for the Florida game, didn't happen. And there's a good chance that Blake Stewart, who Miami was chasing heavily over the summer, Clemson commit, he may visit sometime in November, looking at the Syracuse weekend as one of those possible weekends where it happens. So Miami will be fine. They have all the other cornerbacks in their class. They will be fine at defense.
And I got to tell you, if you're reclassifying and coming to Miami now, you better be 100% sure you could play right away.
Yes.
Because Miami is stacking now, and they're stacking portal people. Like, well, we got a lot of defensive backs coming back next year, correct?
Yes. Well, all the cornerbacks, they still have years of eligibility remaining. Damari Brown, OJ Frederick, Xavier Lucas, Ethan O'Connor,
Bryce Fitzgerald.
Well, Bryce Fitzgerald as well. But those corners right there, on classification years, they're all considered sophomores, either sophomore or redshirt sophomore. So they still have another 2 years.
Now, what about safeties? What safeties do we have coming back, if any?
Zachariah Poyser will be back. He has eligibility remaining. He has 2 more years. You mentioned Bryce Fitzgerald.
Yep.
Dylan Day as well. Still has multiple years remaining.
Yeah, and if I'm if I'm Dobson, I'm like, do I want to compete like that? Like, you really have to know. Like Malachi Toney, when he came in, I mean, it was kind of prime for him. There wasn't an Xavier Restrepo. Not that they're on the same level or anything like that, but there wasn't that guy that started 2 years in front of him. You know what I mean? Where he would have to it's kind of like you just show out in spring and fall.
I think these kids can't be afraid of the factor of competition. And the reason why I say I'm not saying that's the case with Dobson, but I'm saying just in generality, you can't be afraid of the competition because no matter where you go, there will be competition. No matter where you go, they will bring in transfer portal guys. And I look at the scenario of Bryce Fitzgerald. Look at what he's doing. And Miami brought in 2 veteran guys that have actually a lot of college football at the safety position. And he's still been able to get his thing done out there. He's still been able to produce and make plays. So the opportunity is there.
He's leading the team in interceptions right now.
Yeah.
And that's the main reason. I know we're shifting off of Louisville. We'll get it back into Louisville and Miami, and I want to get your prediction as well. But that's the main reason. I think it's unsaid out loud, but I think that's the main reason Cooper has reservations about coming to Miami, because they got such great running backs, and Texas is kind of depleted right now at running back.
Yeah, so Texas is having a lot of injury issues at running back. Like Trey Wisner hasn't been exactly himself this year. CJ Baxter still dealing with injuries over last season, and then even now, still not 100%. They just had a kid leave the program, and Jarrett Gibson. Rumor is he wants to head back down to the Gainesville area. That's to Florida, so we'll see if he ends up there or not. You know, it's just still preliminary stuff. They've had a lot of injuries in their backfield. As for the situation with Cooper, I always try to remind Miami fans this, because some recent news came out about Amari Latimer, a familiar name for Miami because they were recruiting him over a year ago. Then they stopped and everything. And yes, he is a legacy kid, but I had told people there's still some hurdles that Miami has to get over there. That one, how the family feels about the situation, because he's a legacy kid. They stopped talking to him. And then to spark things up again, you still got to deal with that. Miami's not the only program involved with him, because Ohio State is in there. You also got Georgia and Georgia Tech also trying to vie for visits. I believe Georgia Tech's trying to bring him in for a visit this weekend. So people got super excited about that, like, oh, new name or whatever. Forget Derek Cooper, like fans would say. That's not necessarily the scenario how Miami's treating it, though, because Derek Cooper, meanwhile, he will be here tomorrow visiting Miami. Chaminade Madonna Prep is on a bye weekend. He plans to visit Miami. He's visited Miami more than any other school this fall. I've mentioned before, Mario Cristobal is also treating him with the approach of taking a very personal avenue with this recruitment. One-on-one, Mario taking it by the horns and the lead on this. He was at his game the other week. I'm not saying it happens. I'm not in that territory with him yet. I feel better about guys like Justice Fitzpatrick and Calvin Russell and where things are trending there for Miami. But Miami absolutely has a shot. For the fans that are saying, forget Derek Cooper, that's crazy talk. Miami's treating him like a priority.
Well, that's idiotic to say that, because a lot of people were saying that about Malachi Tony when he decommitted. Well, forget about him. We don't need him. And look what he's doing. Luckily, the coaches don't listen to us.
Yeah. No, and it's, they're going through their evaluations. The receiver board has changed a bit. Defensive line as well. New offers are going out. They just offered the UCLA kid Gooden, he's planning to visit in November as well. So there's a lot of cards that are on the table right now.
There was a guy that I believe was a 3-star. I think he said he was going to USC, offensive lineman. Are we still interested in that guy? I totally forgot his name, but he was, for some reason. Yes. Where are we with him? Is he over or what?
There has been contact between both sides. They were trying to push to get him down for a visit during September. It didn't happen. Here's the problem that comes into play that I don't think everyone's aware of with how USC structures those contracts. And this is not a money thing with the kid's family. I'm going to be very transparent here. He comes from a very wealthy family. I know a few people connected to that situation. There's doctors and florists and everything in his family that have been very successful.
Okay.
The problem with USC and the way they structure their contracts, I know everyone says, oh, well, USC is going to lose all those kids when they start losing a whole bunch of games. Not so fast, my friend. The way it is and set up heavy up front and what they're having them sign, it's tough to pull kids away from USC right now.
So explain to me, are they saying here, over your 4 years, I'm making this up, allegedly, we're going to pay you $20 million over 4 years. I know that's high, probably, but I don't know. But we're going to give you your first 2 years, $15 million of it. Is that what you're saying? They're front loading it like that?
Yeah,
or
they're front loading a lot of contracts. Even their contracts are very aggressive in the sense that some of these kids are already getting their money before even arriving. And that's like a whole other can of worms that once you open that up, it's hard for a kid to go and flip to another school.
So they're giving them the candy early, so they get addicted to it, and then it's harder to pull away, because I would assume, are you saying they're signing not officially, but it's kind of like a contract? Like, hey, we're going to give you this money, so you got to come now.
Pretty much.
And do you see like a Miami doing that in the future if it starts working on a different level? Because now you're a professional athlete.
I'm not sure. I don't want to say on Miami without gathering more information to kind of like how they would view that.
Mm-hmm.
I do know there's a few other programs that handle things that way. Rutgers is one of those too.
Yeah.
Where they, like, don't sign that contract because I guess I don't want to say the right words. It's like owning you, but it's very tough to get out of.
And the only reason we got the guy from Wisconsin was because he signed a contract on something that wasn't even passed yet. So that gave him an out. Yeah. It was like a hypothetical. He signed a hypothetical contract. Like, if this goes through, type of vibe. All right, let's get back to Louisville. We kind of got off course. Oh, and by the way, I got reminded by one of these fans, you still never mentioned who you think was going to flip, because we got sidetracked.
Oh, no, I did.
Who?
I mentioned that I feel better about guys like Justice Fitzpatrick.
Oh, okay. Got you. Those guys. Okay. Got you. Louisville, weak offensive line, defensive line. Our defensive line should dominate. How good? My question is Louisville defense, because I know they played 3 cupcakes. JMU, I think they played Chippewa, somebody, and then they played another small school. I can't remember. The real 2 games. Yeah, the Chippewas. The only 2 real games is Pitt and then Virginia.
I think Pitt is legit.
No, I do too. But my question is, they got, to me, inflated numbers on defense right now. It's just like next year, I brought up Miami's schedule next year. We play Florida A&M and somebody else. The first 2 weeks of next year, we're going to be all world. You know what I mean? Number 1 offense, number 1 defense is going to be incredible. But when you play out of 4 games, 5 games, 3 cupcakes, your numbers. How good is this defense? Louisville. Louisville, however they say it.
I think they have the athletes in the secondary to compete. Them losing Stanquan Clark is a massive, massive loss. You're talking about all ACC linebacker.
Yep.
Played his high school football down here in South Florida. He's out for an extended period of time. Their defensive line, I think they're undersized compared to Miami. Like, we've talked about this in several matchups that Miami has had, and it's played out this way. That if you don't have the beef up front, you're going to have trouble with Miami's offensive line and staying in these games.
It's almost like that old lady from that old commercial, Wendy's, where's the beef? Or Burger King, where's the beef? It's like Miami got the beef. But let's be honest, Pitt has a very small line too, defensive line. They're undersized as well. So I feel good about Pitt just jumping around. But as far as defense, Louisville, you think we'll be more effective running or passing? Do you think they'll try to load up the box to stop us running? Or what do you think? Because they saw what happened to Florida State. What do you think their approach is?
I think Miami will end up being more successful running the ball this game. I think Louisville's going to try to sell out to try to stop Carson Beck or limit him as much as possible. I think this is a game where Miami ends up leaning back on their running game. And like I've said, I think Miami is a pick your poison type of team this year.
100%.
They can do both well. And that's a great thing, especially when you talk about late season, that you can lean on another side of your team to pull out a victory. Because when you can't and then something's taken away, you just kind of start sputtering. And we kind of saw some of this last year.
So, I got another question. Tell us, who is a whale Miami can flip? Is there a whale on the board? Or is that whale Derek Cooper?
A whale on the board. Well, a whale on the board is they're still very much in it for Nolan Wilson. They're working on getting Bryce Perry Wright to visit again.
Okay.
With him, though, him being committed to Texas A&M, obviously big money battle there with what Texas A&M slings around and NIL compensation. One of the other programs that's not being talked about with Bryce Perry Wright that's very involved, local program, Georgia Tech. They are coming with a very aggressive push for him. They're very much involved there. And let's see, any other guys? I don't know if I would classify this guy as a whale in terms of how Miami fans may perceive stars and whatnot, but one guy I've been mentioning since September, and now he plans to take a visit for the Syracuse game at the start of November, the first weekend, is Tamarian Watkins. He's about a 6'3", 6'4" linebacker from South Carolina. He's committed to Texas A&M right now. Another Texas A&M guy that and Miami has a shot there. I'm not saying it's slam dunk situation, but they highly value him. He is someone that they had visit over the summer, and he would have a spot in this class regardless of whoever else is in it at this point. They really value him as a prospect. They like that body type, that 6'3", 6'4", rangy guy that can put on weight. Has played a little safety before too. They value that, the positional versatility as well. So a guy that's a little more under the radar. But other whales, I would say, I spoke about Calvin Russell earlier, and Derek Cooper we already spoke about. And I want to throw out there. I would say the other guy on the defensive line. Did I already mention Nolan Wilson? because
Yeah, that was the first guy you mentioned.
Internally, they are super high.
All about him.
Yeah. And the other thing, I've mentioned this for over a month, but when it comes to James Johnson locally, I know people say, oh, Miami Northwestern and this and that. This can be verified. I shared this way back near the beginning of September that the opinions are very mixed on him. He's not their top guy. At least
okay.
Superior lineman. And Miami highly values senior tape when making their decisions on taking guys, and even goes into factor with current commits that they have. I could see a guy or two end up not being in this class, to be honest with you.
Okay. Well, I mean, they're getting higher level talent now, with this winning going on and hopefully a run in the playoffs. I think they're going to flip flip a couple of big whales or flip a couple of big people they want. Let's go to Miami's side in this game. I feel that the offense will score. I'm hoping for a blowout because I love the mentality of Miami this year. I said it at the beginning of the year when they talked about brotherhood, it felt different. I felt Carson, when I saw him the first game have personal handshakes and have connection with players, I was like, okay, they really like him. It's not just lip service. But I think a lot of those players learned from last year how even Mark Fletcher said they were feeling themselves. I don't think that's going to happen this year. And I'm hoping Miami's to a point where these next games aren't even games. And that will prove to me that Miami is for real. Like, I know they're a talented team. I know they're good. And I know every team kind of loses a game here and there. But when you're talking about going to Virginia Tech and Pitt, and no disrespect to Pitt, and I know they're good, but when you're talking about those are going to be games that we should look out for, to me, that hurts my soul because it shouldn't be like that. To me, I think
I'm not concerned about, I'll be honest with you, Mike. I'm not concerned about the Virginia Tech game so much.
Yeah.
Yes, that how that environment has been in the past, whatever, but it's not this. This is not your same Virginia Tech team as the past. But however, I've been consistent with this. I think Pitt is very much a concern. I say for a few reasons. One, the weather. People want to agree, whether people want to agree about the weather or not. And that time of year, it's going to play a factor. It absolutely is. I think Pitt is a good team. I think Desmond Reed is a tremendous talent. South Florida guy himself too. I think Pitt has some real dudes on defense, especially up front. Like, I know you mentioned they're a little bit undersized, but they have the production to back it up though. And they've played against some real competition. Have already shown it. And Pitt in general, just their evaluations on defensive linemen, it's incredible. They've even had guys in the program and continue to do well at other places. So, I'm on the train of that I think you evaluate the rest of the schedule. The one I get concerned about is absolutely Pittsburgh. And you want to talk about irony of things. They have a freshman quarterback now. The 2017 Miami team lost to a freshman quarterback in Kenny Pickett on the road at Pitt to end their hopes of an undefeated season. So time to break some curses, Mike, or whatever the case may be if they do face that freshman quarterback in the final week. But Pitt's a legit team.
Somebody just wrote that Pitt lost to West Virginia.
Let me tell you this. Look, I'll tell you this. I have this saying. I'll be honest with you. College football is a week-to-week business.
It is.
You need to come prepared because for every Pitt loss to West Virginia, I could tell you Alabama lost to Florida State, and they look like Alabama looks like one of the better teams in the country.
They do.
Anyone can have your card if you are not prepared.
I do think college football is about talent, of course, but I think coaching is even bigger in college than in professional. I think coaching in college, you could have an average team beat great teams. Oh, yeah. Just because of discipline, not getting stupid penalties, not jumping off sides, not making the dumb mistakes can win you a lot of games.
Well, I'll give you a great example about that, Mike. Do you think USF recruits at the same level like Florida?
Not at all.
Do you
Not
think
at all.
do you think Memphis recruits at the same level like the Tennessee Volunteers?
Nope.
No.
Well, I'll give you a better example, Gio. Do you think Miami over the last 20 years has had athletes that were better than the competition that were beating them? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So it was coaching. It was coaching. It's all coaching. All right. Let's do some scores here, Gio. I don't know if we talked enough about the game, but I think we all feel we know how it's going to go. What is your prediction?
Miami 37, Louisville 13.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. I think Miami
like
makes a statement on Friday night.
I do too. I feel I'm almost there with you, but I'm going to say 31-20, but it's 31-13. They score late in the game to make it 31-20 when it's garbage time.
Well, that would be kind of on brand with what's gone on this year. The late garbage touchdown makes
the late garbage touchdown. It always happens because I don't call them second string on Miami. I call them second starters. They're the second starters. So they're going to put this. They're going to put the second starters in, and they're going to give up a few plays because here's the thing: second starters are going to go against their first team. And here's the thing with college football: if you have a team that's competitive, the whole coach's angle then becomes don't give up. If we score, it's an accomplishment we can leave on a high note. So I think no matter how much you're down, if you score a touchdown in the last couple of minutes, it makes your team feel a little bit better going home. It's like we didn't give up. We kept pushing. Yeah, but it was second team. It doesn't matter. We kept it going. And I feel that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to be, we're going to control it. We're going to dominate. It's going to be 31-13, minute and a half left. Something's going to happen. They score a touchdown, 31-20. Everybody loses money that bet. And there you go.
Oh, man.
Real quick. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sure if some people took the alternate spreads, because you can, depending on what sports betting app you use, you could take alternate spreads if you think it's going to be more. I'm sure if anyone took alternate spreads on Miami, Florida State, rather than the original line, they must be so pissed. Pissed.
Yeah. All right, let's run through a couple ACC games, just the big ones. Georgia Tech versus Duke. Who do you think takes that?
I got Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech meets Miami in Charlotte this year for the ACC championship.
So both of those teams are undefeated in conference. So that will knock out one of them if everything remains consistent and teams keep winning, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. SMU Clemson, who wins that?
I mean, Clemson's kind of proven my point throughout the year, what I've been saying for over a year.
Yeah.
About them and about Cade Klubnik. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think Cade Klubnik's a bad quarterback, but he's not elite. Like,
no, he's not. We talked about this beginning of the season.
I was hardcore pounding the table on that. However, I think Clemson's defense will be up to the challenge. I'm going to take Clemson over SMU.
It's at Clemson too. So I will take Clemson on that. I didn't tell you the Georgia Tech and Duke game, but I'm with you. I think Georgia Tech is good as long as that quarterback is healthy.
Oh, yeah.
Will he make it to the end of the season? Because here's what's great. If Georgia Tech plays Miami in the ACC championship, we're coming off a Pitt, but they're coming off a game with Georgia.
Yeah.
1 week later, you got to play in the championship against Miami, another physical team. That's a lot to take on.
I'll tell you what, Mike, these next 7 weeks are going to be really fun for Miami fans overall. Just nonstop games every week. There's no bye weeks between. And in between all that, as soon as the regular season is over, that Wednesday right after is signing day, December 3rd.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Right before the conference championship. So these next 7 weeks are going to be quite the whirlwind of just whether it's news or things happening or.
Okay. I do want to ask you this because there is some confusion. Let's say Virginia, Georgia Tech, Miami are all undefeated. I know there's a bunch of different rules I've been seeing. Like it goes by who you played, if you played same teams and things like that. But if it came down all the way to the end, where it's just 3 teams, I read something that then it kind of goes behind closed doors and the ACC decides who plays in the game.
Yeah, there's certain. All right, so they go through like a list of certain things. First,
Yeah.
it's like common opponents. Then they'll take like sometimes they'll take like point differentials and whatnot, depending on how close it is. Uh, and then ultimately, yeah, I believe there's 3 criteria that they go down, and if it can't be decided after that, the ACC says, "Well, we're just going to put whoever we want to put in the game."
And
You
let me
are
tell
right on
you, they would put Miami in because of ratings. They would
that.
they
Oh,
wouldn't.
absolutely.
Miami would be in there. But here's my thing: if all 3 are undefeated, wouldn't you not want to play in the conference championship?
Yeah, because let's say if you do lose your conference championship game, then your seeding gets all jacked up for the playoff.
Okay, let me ask you this: Miami ranked 2 or 1 at that time. They don't play in the conference championship. There is a conference champion. Let's say it's Virginia or Georgia Tech, whichever one. Does Miami seed still higher than the conference champion if Miami has been number 1 and still undefeated?
What do you mean, like between both ACC teams?
So
Or
Miami doesn't
playoffs?
make the championship, and Georgia Tech, Miami's ranked number 2 in the country or number 1 in the country still undefeated, right? Georgia Tech plays Virginia.
Okay.
One of them is a conference champ. Who do you put higher ranked in the bracket? Miami, who's ranked number 2, or a conference champ that didn't play Miami?
Oof. I don't think I would even have an answer for that. That's like a can of worms. Like,
But I think they already answered that by last year, where SMU made the playoffs. They were like, "Oh no, it's going to be like we seed them." Like conference champs aren't guaranteed the first 4 spots anymore. I don't believe.
yeah, they took that out. Yeah, they took
So
that
I
out.
think my personal opinion, and please leave your comments. I would love to know your comments. I think they would put Miami as one of the top 4 and be like, "Yo, they didn't get a chance to play." So how can we penalize them for not getting a chance to play? And your conference champion's going to make it, and possibly now that creates a 3rd team to get in.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Never really
so
thought of
I don't
it.
know.
Yeah.
It's almost better if that scenario happens. The ACC says, "No, we want Georgia Tech and Virginia to play in it," because then you actually have a chance to get 3 teams in. Because if Miami beats whoever, that 3rd team is automatically out.
Yeah,
So the
absolutely.
play for the ACC would have Miami not play the championship because they know there'll be one of the top 4
Well,
seeds.
I think it would be the dream scenario for the commissioner, but
Yeah. Yeah. So if you went behind those closed doors, you'd be like, "No, not Miami. We're going to play Georgia Tech and Virginia. We don't care about the ratings on that one. We have a chance to get 3 teams in." I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. If I was the commissioner, I would do that.
yeah, more teams in the playoff, more exposure to your conference, more revenue for the conference.
There you go. All right. I mean, Florida State, Stanford. I know Stanford's awful, but I mean, Florida State wins that game, right?
Yeah, Florida State will win that game. I mean,
Okay.
I know all the troubles they're having and whatnot, but that's a game that they should win. I mean, if they don't win that, oh,
Yeah. Pitt, Syracuse.
Pitt, Syracuse. I'm going with Pitt.
Because Steve Angeli, like, here's my thing. What was very interesting when we played Notre Dame, I thought Steve Angeli was a great quarterback. I thought he would have been great at Notre Dame. And I can't believe this Carr dude beat him. I still believe there was more to that story than we know. Because I can't
About
see
Carr
Carr, huh?
About Carr and Jelly.
I don't think it was about talent. I think there was something else. Maybe the team didn't like him or something. Because to me, Carr is not better than Angeli. Because Angeli, when he filled in for the starter, he did great in those games last year. So I don't know what that was. And then when I talked to Notre Dame fans after our game, they were like, "Yeah, we were really upset we lost Steve Angeli."
Oh,
Yeah. So, all right. So your final score 37-13. Mine is 31-20 because I think they'll score a cheap touchdown at the end. You're promoting Who Wants Smoke in the back of you?
yeah. That's the show with me and Amon. We'll be back on sometime this weekend. I'll be on tonight with Brett and the guys from Caneswear podcast. That'll be around like 9 Eastern for the late night crew, people that like to be up late night. I'm
There you
surprised,
go.
Mike. I'll tell you this: I'm surprised how many people show up at that time. But there's people just passionate. 9, 10 o'clock at night, hundreds of questions.
I see the stream, man. You guys are blowing up. And Gio, you're just the face of everything. You and Alex Dono, man. I love all the love you're getting from Canes fans. And what's great is we're all building our platforms. You know, leading to 2027 when Miami plays in Vegas, baby. I'm throwing the biggest party when they play Utah.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Mike. I hope Utah doesn't pull a stunt like South Carolina did.
Oh, cancel the game?
I hope they don't. That game needs to happen.
If that one doesn't happen, somebody needs to play Miami and Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Because that would be amazing. Amazing. All right. Who wants smoke? You got that? You got the Discord. You got follow you where?
Everyone can follow me on X at Gio Million. That's likely your best place to follow me for any of the content or updates or anything in general.
Okay. And for everybody watching it or everybody that's going to watch this podcast, audio goes up later on today. And thank Gio, I saw my audio numbers and it shocked me. I didn't know because I never promote the audio and so many people listen to the audio side. So thank you for that. Also, if someone like every week guesses the score correctly before the game starts, you only can put in one score. Here's the rules. Get your prediction in before the game starts. Only put in one prediction. And if you get it right, I will give one person, the first person on the timeline with the right score, $100, except Gio Million. So put your scores down. I can see by timeline when they came in. Only one per person, and you have to be subscribed to my channel. 3 rules. Have to be subscribed, have to do it before the game, have to be dead on correct, and have to be first with the correct score. So there you go. Hey, Gio, thanks for jumping on, man.
Of course. Anytime, Mike. Go Canes.
All right, and I'll see you soon, my friend.
Take care.
Okay, bye.